everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. All right, today's topic is I'm an optimist, but he's a pessimist. Can love survive? Now, before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all the new viewers, the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now we have a letter. So let's dive right into this letter and see what she says. I'm a 40-year-old woman currently dating a 43-year-old man. I care deeply for him and enjoy many aspects of our relationship. However, I'm beginning to feel emotionally drained and conflicted. We are in many ways opposites, especially when it comes to our outlook on life. I'm naturally an optimist. I try to see the best in people and situations, even during difficult times. He, on the other hand, is very much a pessimist. At first, I thought this balance might complement us. But over time, I've realized it creates tension. At first, I thought this balance might complement us. But over time, I realized it creates tension, especially when I need support. Yeah, I bet, because if you're trying to get support from a pessimist, number one, they're going to ask you a million questions before they even get to what they think. By the time they get to what they think about it, you're already kind of upset by the way that they approach the situation. They want to tear it all apart. You got to go telling them all the history of what happened and why it happened. Now, you can tell I'm an optimist. Let's just get to the point. What you got no history for? Just to tell me what you think about something. Okay? Anyway, let's get back to the letter. Whenever I open up to him or express excitement, fear, or hope, he often responds in a way that makes me feel like I'm lacking. I don't know what it is, but pessimists do have a way of making you feel it's your fault. Something you didn't do it right. You're too naive. It's something. It just makes you feel like that somehow is you didn't measure up. It's not always direct, but I end up feeling deflated or discouraged. I don't know if it's intentional, but they do have a way of making you feel discouraged. You can go to them and be in the best mood and just tell them something that's happened in your life that you want to share. Or you want to share with someone that's close to you. But their remarks can make you just feel like, I shouldn't have shared it. That's what it makes you feel like. Leaving the premises. You don't want to be around that energy. I don't know what it is. I don't want to call it a negative energy, but it is negative. Anything is negative doesn't make you happy. Anything that rubs you the wrong way and have you feeling some kind of way is a negative energy. So I guess you have to call it for what it is. Okay, here we go. As a result, I've started to hold back my thoughts and feelings, which leaves me feeling unseen and emotionally distant from him. Of course, if you can't share your real, true feelings with your partner, why is he there? Just to criticize you and tell you why you can't do certain things and why it's a bad idea and second guess you at every step? No, that's no good. It's no good. Another issue is his moodiness. His moods can shift unpredictably, and I often feel like I'm walking on eggshells. For example, we recently planned a we recently planned a dinner outing. He got dressed and seemed ready, but then his demeanor changed. It was clear without him saying a word that he no longer wanted to go. This has happened before. And instead of simply expressing his change of heart, he tends to act it out or become passive aggressive. They can act out like children. All right, for instance, you plan this, but now because in their minds they don't want to go, now they feel like they're being forced to do something that they don't really want to do. And they don't know how to verbalize their feelings. Just come out and say, well, I changed my mind. I don't want to go now. So I don't know if it's that they don't want to disappoint you, and that's why they go and act out like a child that doesn't even want to be there, or what it is. Is it for you or is it for them? Why they don't verbalize their true feelings. Okay? It makes these moments very uncomfortable. And I find myself dreading them. I know I know you do, because with moody people, they can be happy one minute, next minute you don't even know. Well, what is that? Oh, no. I just believe that people that have issues like that really need to work on themselves. That this is something that needs to be rooted out of their personality. It's no good. It's no good for them. And it certainly isn't any good if they plan to, be in close or coexist with other people. How can you be moody? Never know what mood you're going to be in. It could be a chemical imbalance somewhere. All right? And don't forget, you are what you eat. I can always go back to that. But I believe the moodiness it's a chemical imbalance too. All right, let's see here. I've begun to wonder, is this how pessimists behave? The ones that I know? Or is this something deeper? I think it comes from something deeper. And I do believe it's negative energy. It's something that needs to be rooted out. Can someone like them change if they're willing? Yeah, I believe that. I believe they can change, because many of them, they're intelligent, sensible people, but they've just got in a pattern of being a pessimist. Okay? And we really need to look into why it's so prevalent in these people. Okay. The pessimist and moodiness may not automatically mean he's incapable of change, but it does mean he needs to become aware of how his behavior affects you. So if he is unwilling to acknowledge his behavior, then change is going to be very difficult. This situation is going to need clear communication from you. You need to let him know how you feel, not just what he's doing is wrong. Now, you know what? The pessimists that I'm aware of, when you even approach the subject, they pissed. And their mind is shut down. So they never really get to what you're trying to say and why you're trying to say it. Even if they are questioned, They can jump to the defense already. They already got that guard up as if they are afraid that you're going to say, like it's an attack on them. So I don't know if that is a personality trait of a pessimist, but let's see. All right. So instead of focusing on specific issues, express how it makes you feel emotionally unsafe and unsupported. So that's what it means to be clear in your communication with the pessimist of how it makes you feel. These conversations really should be taking place with care. I mean, pick the right place and the right time when the pessimist is relaxed and in a pleasant mood. All right, the most pleasant mood that you can find the pessimist in, and just kind of ease into, these topics. Because if you just come right at them, they're going to put that wall up and they're not going to hear anything you say. And then they're going to be pissed because you even brought it up. It was like an attack on them. Okay? All right. So if both of you are willing to do this work, then you really can have a happier coexistence. But if you're not, it's going to bring up a lot of tension and misery in your relationship. Now, yes, there is hope for a relationship between an optimist and a pessimist, although difficult. All right? Now, the pessimist. Now, let's see why the pessimist displays this in their personalities. Now, with pessimists, their brains are more emotional processors, okay? And in the frontal cortex, where this emotional processing goes on, they develop a greater sensitivity of fear and threats. So that's what makes them see life on the dark side. They look for a problem in every issue. Okay, anything that you bring to them, they're going to look for the problem in it. Whereas an optimist, you see the end result. You see the prize in it, the reward in it. Where the pessimist can see everything that can go wrong with it. Pessimist will see everything going wrong with anything. You have a project, they can see why you can't do it. They can see why it won't work. They can see why you don't have the intelligence to pull it off. You understand that? That's a pessimist. Where the optimist will say, yeah, you can do it. Why not? Why not? You got the skill. You got the talent. They're very supportive. All right. Now, the thing about it is that we have a little bit of both in everybody. It's a little bit of both. It's just that for the pessimists, they are operating from this prefrontal lobe cortex, something in the brain that's developing that type of personality. Where the optimists, because they're right brain people, it's more creativity and harmony and that kind of thing. So you can, like I said, you can coexist with a pessimist, but it can be a very hard road to travel. And you need to make up in your mind, is it a road that you're willing to travel? And realizing that everybody is different. And there are probably different degrees to this pessimism. And like I said, once the pessimist is aware that he or she, it could be an issue there, if they really want the relationship, they can change. And once they change within, and what I mean change, they are more aware of their behavior. So they will think twice before the way they say things or try to explain what they meant by saying things and things like that. Oh, they won't blatantly just try to bring you back to reality. And let's say that because, optimists have been said that we live in kind of a fantasy world because these pessimists, they believe they live in the real world. Everything is real. So that's why they're so hard in their thinking. And in the real world, there are threats and things to be fearful of. But the optimist doesn't see life like that. Okay? So anyway, I hope that I explained it where you can understand about the pessimist and the optimist. If it were me, I don't know, I have to think a while to see if it would be worth the torment. Okay? But we all have free will and you could choose what's best for you. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Now, if any of you may have a question that you'd like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. I want to thank you so much for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.